the thing. You might say this is an awful lot of super auto pets, okay? And you wouldn't be wrong, but I need to play more because sometime on Sunday night to Monday morning, I experienced brain death. A third of my neurons died. I was incapable of understanding what was happening on the weekly. Now I understand what's happening on the weekly. My neurons rebuilt themselves because every night before bed I eat like $6.25 worth of blackberries. I'm ready to go. It's no problem. Wait, the librarian was not here on Tuesday because they had a doctor's appointment. Is that before or after you made that tweet that said, I'm really craving Subway? Because I could honestly take it either way. We start here, we freeze this. You go food early and you stabilize with a tennis ball and then throw me a second moth, please. Pass me on. And then let me be a iconic carrot. Sap Live, I ain't ever seen this before. Believe it or not, you son of a bitch, you're still gonna... How do we change that to make it sound positive instead of like the dude from the Matrix is about to shoot you? Oh, you know what? Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts. We don't have the money to do what I wanted to do, so never mind that. Shucks. You know, I was reading a Reddit thread that was like, what were the most tragic deaths? What were the deaths in movies that affected you emotionally more than any other ones in history? And one of the top comments was when that person dies in the Matrix and they say, not like this, not like this. And it got me so good. 'Cause, I mean, it's a moment you remember, but like one of the most emotional deaths in movie history. They wrote, and I never even thought about this, but they wrote like a whole justification too. They were like, apparently their name is Ghost. They were like, you know that, or maybe it's Switch. That's Switch, okay. You know that Switch went to the Oracle, and the Oracle told them that they were gonna die in battle, and they were okay with that. But then they never expected that their death in battle wouldn't come in combat. It would instead just come from being unplugged by one of their crew members. And I was like, man, I really liked The Matrix, don't get me wrong. I never thought about it to that extent. And then somebody else said, yeah, I also cried when Mouse died. And that's the really skinny guy, right? That when he opens up the curtains and there's a brick wall there, he pulls out two enormous like machine guns and goes... I'm not trying to shame anybody for crying in a movie. Lord knows I've been talking about, Toy Story. Toy Story 2 is a very emotional film. Listen, you're not part of the Turbo team anymore. You're part of the Turbo team. You're possibly part of the Turbo team. Okay, I pass. That shit got me weeping, bro. I will say my child watched Toy Story 2 again yesterday. I know you're like, what do you mean again? Well, she's 2 and she was homesick, so she watches like some stuff now and then, including Toy Story 2 because it's her favorite movie of all time. When the Jessie song came on, I'm not ashamed of my emotions, but I was like, I literally just bawled to that scene on Sunday, so I just turned my back to the TV and then like looked at my phone. I was like, I'm not running it back again this quick. In a month, I'll cry to that scene again, but I'm not messing up like my brain for the next 15 minutes to the same thing that I messed it up with on Sunday. It's okay. I mean, Strawberry Friend is pretty okay, but Elephant Guinea Fowl kind of goes crazy too. You could try something like that. All right, pass me. We draw these. We win these. Oh, we win these. We draw these. I cried at the end of Ratatouille. Is that normal? I think crying to like almost any piece of media that's meant to be sincere is normal. I don't think you should be ashamed about that. I mean, especially like kids' movies are sincere, right? Sometimes they might be a little saccharine, but they're meant to be sincere. So I don't think there's anything wrong with crying about sincerity. Now, is it possible that I might poke fun at it from time to time? Sure, that's something that I could foresee happening. Like if you cry in Spider-Man 2 when Spider-Man uses his webs to stop the subway train from going off the platform. Can I have a good unit here, please, by the way? To me, that's a little... I'm merely going to say it's humorous. I'm not saying anything else about it. I'm merely saying it's humorous. I cried when Susan died on Seinfeld. See, that's crazy because George didn't even cry when Susan died on Seinfeld. Which, for me, is problematic because I think that... I mean, you should probably, like, be a little upset when your fiance dies, especially if it's due to your desire to be spendthrifty. Holy cow, we won? I don't believe it. I told you I'm back. I don't know where we're going long term here, but we're back for now. Freeze me. We can afford to lose a life if we have to. I really don't want to be out here buying apples. But while we're here, that's what we're gonna do because we don't get any freaking pills, man. Are you gonna cry when the Paw Patrol dogs are killed by Jigsaw? Nobody's going to see Saw Patrol, man. I'll be a little mad at you if you go to see Saw. I'll be really upset with you if you go to see Paw Patrol. It's as simple as that. You don't have anything to worry about. Why? Because it's the 10th Saw movie. Like, if they were gonna make a good one, they would have done it a long time ago. They're not capable of doing it. By the way, you don't know... you don't appreciate how amazing we are that we have 5 wins in 7 rounds, technically in 6 rounds, with one of the worst series of shops I've ever seen in my entire life. We haven't gotten any of the meta animals here. We haven't built like a gecko toy build. We got nothing, man. There's no future for this. It's good for where it is right now, but it's got no future. I think we have to sell, like we have to do a hard pivot. And Turkey at least allows us to pivot a little bit. Would it kill you to... Thank you. Would it kill you to just give me a pill? That's what I was going to say. And for now, I mean, it's a little cooked. Don't get me wrong. Give me a salad. I don't know what we're going to do with this. Is my brain broken if I cried during Moneyball, but I didn't cry during my grandfather's funeral? No, that's like, I don't, like it's too easy to mind that for like a joke. I think that's just normal. I don't mean that that's the typical experience, but I think it's like within the bounds of normalcy. It's within the range of normality, at least. I definitely, like, I saw Wall-E in like 2009 and cried like a baby at the end of it. And then like in March 2010, my grandfather died, and I was sad, but I never cried about it at all. But, like, I probably would have cried if my grandfather became, like, a robot who was in love, but then his memory got wiped, and instead of being, like, a noble robot, he just went back to making little trash cubes and stuff like that. Because there's something, like, more... Death is tragic. But you can also concoct a story where something more tragic than death happens. I'm not saying that Wall-E is sadder than a real person dying. That's crazy. That's insanity. But you can definitely make a story where something worse than death happens in the story that makes your brain go like, oh, I'm sad. Because when I got the phone call that my grandfather died, they didn't play like some fucked up sentimental music or something like that designed to like pull on your heartstrings, right? It's not like my mom was like, oh, just wait a second. I gotta set the mood, you know? We got Hans Zimmer on the other line. Hans Zimmer on the conference call coming in. Okay, how am I going to get out of this one? I know how. This is going to give me a good tier 6. We could try a bear summon team, but it's not, I mean, like, this is not locked in. Let me just start you right there. And we need a pill. Oh, that's also pretty good. Now, I'm trying to think of the level 4 toys. We could do a toy. It's a little late to do a toy pivot. And your toys, you get like a skunk out of it. We're almost like more in need of a spawning team. Turkey, we don't need another blob. This would help. Okay, I think we're not totally screwed. You ever think about how different sizes of clothes all cost the same? Well, I think it's, with no disrespect intended, and I mean this sincerely, holy cow, we pulled out a dub. With no disrespect intended, that's like how a child looks at economics. You know? Like a 13-year-old taking their first economics course would be like, oh my God, if a small costs the same as a quadruple XL, why don't I just buy a quadruple XL, cut it into 4 smalls, and then sell them for 4x the price, right? Like that's... But you know, the price of a good is not exclusively dictated by the price of the inputs to it. You know, it's also what the market will bear. You need this. This is also very nice. I appreciate that mightily. Roll me. Thank you for the pill. I've been asking for the pill for a long time. Watch this. We're going, I mean, like, these units suck. I think it's time for the hard pivot, okay? The hard pivot looks like this. Even if we're going 4 squatted, it's better this way. A fly is like the perfect addition to this run. You buy a turkey that gets buffed by a turkey. You sell you run a... This sucks, but the pivot is in. You run a fly right here. It gets buffed by both turkeys. So this is horrible, but I'm telling you that... Librarian, tell me, is this not the way that we had to do it in order to make this work? That we were on a dead end. We made our team, in my opinion, we made our team worse temporarily in order for it to have a chance to get the 10 later. I think it was the only way. Now, this round is... Don't get distracted by this round. It's inconsequential. The details of my life are inconsequential. My childhood was typical. Luge lessons in Rangoon. I'm not buying an apple. And I'm not drinking any frickin' Merlot. What do you think about a little mongoose? You could just get it out there for some death touch at least. Never stop quoting Austin Powers, promise me. I'll stop doing it when you stop laughing, which will be never because it's one of the funniest movies ever made, obviously. Can I tell you, last night I was looking for something to watch on Netflix, a little service you might have heard of. I typed LA Confidential into the search bar because I wanted to see movies that were like LA Confidential, and it was like, boom, Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Shawshank Redemption, number 6, Austin Powers 2, The Spy Who Shagged Me. I couldn't for the life of me figure it out why that would be in the top 5 or 6 movies related to LA Confidential. I don't think they have any overlap in cast. Both 90s? They're not even 90s, honestly, because LA Confidential is from like the 90s. Spy Who Shagged Me is from the year 2000 even. Maybe 2001. It's because it knew you wanted to watch it. Well, they thought they were so smart. You know what I did? I just watched LA Confidential instead. Instead of looking for a movie like LA Confidential, I said, why go to the facsimile when you could just go to the source? Is Spacey uncanceled? No, probably never. I don't think you can come back from what Kevin Spacey's been credibly accused of doing. But I think that you can watch movies where he plays a bad person. Because then you're like, I don't like this guy. Grr. Detective Jack Vincennes, who toes the line between the law but also his own personal glory. We don't like him. And luckily, it's true, he did play a scumbag in like almost all of his movies. This is a bit of a crazy play, but just work with me here. Give me peanut jar. We'll talk. Not interested. Well, you know what? One up. One up might be kind of interesting if we're going to keep you around. Well, I will. Well, I will. I'm sad he was in Moon. I love that movie. Listen. I don't think... Maybe people will disagree with this, and that's fine. But hopefully they recognize that I'm, not trying to be a bad person when I say this. Just because he's a bad person, I don't think that means you should be punished by having to, like, rethink how you feel about your favorite movie of all time. You don't have to be, like, beating the drum online for his innocence or something like that. But if the movie's good, it's good. And, like, he didn't make the movie. Like, I'm not trying to diminish the role of an actor, but, like, he didn't write it. He didn't direct it. He's not even the star. He's a supporting member of the cast who's, it's his voice. And then, even when, like, a movie is driven by a single auteur, it's still an ensemble effort, It takes a village to raise a film. Like, Woody Allen's kind of a different story, okay? Like, when you watch Manhattan, you're like, this is a Woody Allen movie, and Woody Allen is the star. Woody Allen wrote and directed it, and Woody Allen's character is dating a 16-year-old girl in the movie. So you're like, maybe you can recognize, like, in half of your brain that, like, this is a good piece of cinema, but then there's another part of your brain that's like, really, man? Really? But as far as like an actor being in a movie that you like and then the actor gets canceled, I mean, it's like, you can still watch Baby Driver as far as I'm concerned. I don't think it makes you a bad person. Quentin Tarantino with Selma Hayek's foot in his mouth. Two things. Two consenting adults. Secondly, who could blame him? I'm not going to be mad at Quentin Tarantino. I'm not going to cancel him because he's living my dream life. Are you crazy? Can't cancel the guy for having a foot fetish. You know why? Because then we would have to cancel Bob Odenkirk. And nobody's willing to do that. So that's where we're drawing the line. Give me peanut jar again. One of these. I would kill for any chocolate. Oh, that's also great. It's not chocolate, but we got a lot of people close to levels here. Bob Odenkirk doesn't pay actors to indulge it. People, I don't know what happened to society. When I was younger, we used to make fun of Quentin Tarantino for his foot fetish. But at some point, around like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the window changed, and now people are like, Quentin Tarantino having a foot fetish is not okay somehow. I don't understand what happened. He's just kind of a weird dude. If anything, Quentin Tarantino should be canceled for putting himself in like every single one of his movies when that motherfucker cannot act. No disrespect. Like, he can't act. I think that there's a case to be made that, like, I don't know, let's just try. I mean, maybe this gives us an extra attack somewhere down the line. I'll give it a shot. Ooh. He gets to put himself in his movies because he directed them. I think, like, who's going to tell him no, right? That being said, that motherfucker back there is not real. when it comes to his acting. Oh my God, we're gonna get to 10. And I remember someone in chat said, he's so washed. Yeah, well, wash this. Oh no, you shot my freaking bear. Who cares? There's 10. On turn 14. And thank you, librarian. Nobody's gonna realize. They're gonna say, oh, 10 with the easiest build of all time. You don't even understand what I had to go through. I deliberately drove down a dead end because there was arbitrage to be made there, and then I sold my car and walked back the other direction. That was a tough one. It took a lot of grinding to get these views. Ferret tennis ball, please. This is not a good position to be in, but it's round 1. Who cares? Who cares? I'm a doctor too. How about a naughty hat? Like at a bachelorette party or something? Or a fedora? Sure. Well, we need a strawberry. We have to take this squad for now. I'm not thinking that this is ideal, but if we get a gecko or something, or we get a cassowary on level up, we're feeling okay. Have you been to Room 40 in Vancouver? Isn't that an HBO original show from the Duplass brothers? I've never been to Room 40. Whether it's cool or it's like some kind of underground sex club, I've never been to it. Hang on, let me Google it. Room 40. Room 40, Vancouver. I don't see it. Room 40. It doesn't exist? Okay, so it's an underground sex club thing. I'm not cool, okay? Room 4D's nuts. Oh, you piece of crap. You princes of Maine. You kings of New England. Wait, whoa. You know, yeah, go ahead. Take this. And then give me another strawberry at some point. Because then I can sell both of you into it. Give me a moment here. Roll me. That's not a strawberry. That's not a strawberry. None of these are strawberries. Dan's roguelite tier list is the most unhinged thing I've ever seen. I know we talked about it earlier. It is just, it's really funny. I can almost like picture what I think happened. What I think happened was probably that Dan told like one of his mods to make a tier list on Tier Maker of all of the roguelites he'd ever played. And then he found out when he saw the tier list that like 85% of them were sponsored roguelites he played 3 times. And he had to reconcile live on the fly, what am I going to do with all these like 6 out of 10 sponsored roguelites? So he's got a lot of stuff just sitting in the forgettable tier, which is just a nice way of saying... Hang on. We're rebuilding into a guinea fowl team here briefly. It's called Strawberry Cough. Give me this, give me this, give me this. This is not as bad as it looks. Hades in Trash Minus is just bait, which is, you know, it's fine. We all have bait from time to time. There's bait tier. Huge. He put Slay the Spire in C. I mean, that's just incorrect, which is also fine. Hot take. People are allowed to be wrong. But if they start to say, no, I'm right, then you gotta let them have it. I'll take tennis ball yet again. He's saying I'm right. Well, he's wrong about Slay the Spire. That game's a certifiable classic. Probably, without a doubt, the best deck builder ever released. At least the best digital deck builder. Just my 2 cents. Hey, remember what I said? If you disagree, people are allowed to be wrong. But if you agree, up dutes to the left, please. Give me this. We are cooking now. For me personally, Slay the Spire is like in my Mount Rushmore of indie games. If you only get 4, it's not even a contest whether Slay the Spire is on there. Hey, Tech923, thank you for the gifted subscriptions as well. Thank you, thank you. What else is there? Probably, I mean, Isaac is there without a doubt. Spelunky is there without a doubt. And then I got to think about, I mean, and Slay the Spire. But then I got to think about what would go number 4. It would probably be FTL. Even though it's the one I've played the least of, I think it's the most influential. Hades is also a completely reasonable put up there, I think, quite frankly. And even Gungeon, I would say, if you could make an argument, I want to stress again, I think it's very complimentary to say like that Gungeon might be like the 6th best roguelite I've ever played. Like, I don't mean that as an insult. I think that's, it's like a very positive thing. Risk of Rain? Nah, you wouldn't catch me saying some shit like that. No offense. Hang on. Dude, we could build a toy build here. You sell the gecko. Well, you could sell either. It doesn't really matter. Well, yeah, it does matter. Sell you, and then run Stingray, and then give Stingray the flashlight, and we could try to build up like a cool toy build if we get like a chameleon or something like that. I'm not interested in any of these. They're garbage. My stance? My stance? You're going to look at this and you're going to say like, oh no, he's washed. What you need to understand is my opponent is rocking like an insanely great team. Like, this is what winner's bracket looks like, brother. It's a nightmare up here. I'm glad we're out of it. Oh! Oh! Now, here's what's gonna happen, okay? The flashlight. Ah! Just wait for it. Okay, nobody cares about you. Give me some insane value plays here. I'm telling you. More. What toy? I don't want your toy. I don't want to do your dirty work no more. Now this, we're going toy build. You may not be familiar, okay, with how toy builds work. Oh, you shoot my freaking dude. See if I care. Now look, oh wait, it gives you HP too. That's my mistake. Okay, nice buff. Now watch this. Every time the chameleon dies, we get a 6/6 buff on the unit behind it. Now that's clearly not going to be enough to get through this, but this is what it's like in the winner's bracket, buddy. Now, I really thought we were going to crush it. This is where it gets even better, okay? Watch this. First off, you shouldn't be here. What are you even... You don't do anything anymore? Goodbye. Sell me. Buy me. Please give me... shoot the lowest health enemy for 6 damage, and then we'll get another shot here, and then we'll get another shot here. You're off the squad as soon as I get something that I can replace you with. We don't buy pairs this week. That's an insult. Okay, this is an easy one. Toss that one out there. And then friendly toy repeats its ability as if it's level 1. You're going to do it as a level 2. Get ready. Get ready. But you need to not be on the squad, but whatever. You know what? I'm selling you right now. That's what I think about you. I'd rather run 4 squatted than run 5 squatted with your ass on the team. Ho! Do it again. They're not doing it again. What happened there? Why aren't they doing it again? It's all right. We're so back. Considering we were 4 squatted, good pivot. Good pivot. We'll just stack you on top for now. Go ahead and take a foam sword. Honestly, you're a dead end at this point. We want more... Oh, more toy-related Andes. Oh! Forget about... I'm not a Mosasaurus lad this week. This is gonna pop. And then if we can get a mongoose popping and get non-stop peanuts going... Get ready. Here it comes. Oops, I killed half your squad. Oops, I killed another member of your squad. Oops, we drew again. Who runs a huge cone snail, man? What the hell? Disrespectful. We'll still go foam sword. I don't really want you. We're going full toy build here. I'm telling you. These are non-necessary items. It's a waste. I'll tell you what, I'll toss you this just because it's a decent piece of equipment. We are on 3 wins. We got to go pretty far on this one. We're going to have a hard time dealing with the scaling teams. Double coconut armor. It won't save you. I told you it wouldn't save you. There's 4. Now, 2 of these would go crazy. None of you are foods. Will come out next time. Not this time, but next time. For the time being, sure. Why don't you take a tomato? Another sniping build. Tiger could go crazy. I should have thought about tiger, too. Hang on. The bear must die. It does have coconut armor, but... Oh! Get smoked. Okay, you go. Now here's where you got to be careful, okay? We don't have a food right now. You can get death touch on everything easily, but death touch is like not as good as sniping. So I actually think for now, get the mushroom, get the mushroom. Really good idea. We don't have any toys right now, so this guy has no trigger, okay? Everybody just chill out for a second. You sell the guinea fowl. That takes you to 9. You run a mongoose. For mongoose, I mean, here's the thing. I think a TV gives us a lot of stats, but like, it would be really nice to... is it going to make up? Maybe it will. Give me TV. Okay. TV doesn't override the mushrooms that we're going to buy anyway then. Give me 1 mushroom, and I'm going to put it on the chili pepper fellow here, which then allows me to sell you and run a tiger on you. And we run a pretty serious risk of like getting sniped. But if we don't get sniped, we should get decent amounts of stats, especially if our mongoose can hit level 3. No sniping though means this bear is gonna do some damage. Yeah, we're gonna lose this one, I think, for sure. Just a large lad. Look at the stats, though. Look at the stats as we're getting our ass beat. I think we need to get... Yes, we need to get... Not stingray. We need crocodile, man. This is still good. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm happy to see this. If anything, maybe we should run it like this so we get more stats faster on the other units, but... I think we need the crocodile. Look, they got a very similar squad running here. In fact, they have the same squad running here. Oh, wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. Come on, tell me this is drawable. Oh, baby. It's exactly drawable. And then we do get a nice... We get double stats there. Okay, so we need a toy. We need a toy. If we have to, we'll run you, but we really want to see a crocodile instead. Honestly, I think to stabilize for now, and you can be a hater if you want to be a hater, I think to stabilize for now, we need to take this and we need to go Death Touch. I know it's going to overwrite our equipment, but it'll stabilize us at least for 1 round. And then we'll look for Crocodile next round. It's a fun weekly this week. It's a bit of a crazy weekly. I think we probably lose this, actually. Like, spawning beats the Death Touch spam. You got me, kid. No summon builds, team, please. We don't need more death touch. If anything, the next play is actually, I'm sorry to do this, but like this is a dead end. Give me this and then toss me some stinky socks. And then give me 2 of these, and I don't even know. All I'm going to say is that you're going to be stinky. Like, your whole squad is going to get reduced by 40%, like 8 times or something like that. But then they've got a television themselves. Okay, so their whole squad is, like, dead. But then their whole squad is going to get, like, a bunch of stats. But then their whole squad is going to, like, lose a bunch of stats. But then my squad is kind of, like, ass. No, we definitely lose. We should have stuck with the crocodile, but then we still had a similar problem. You need to get crocodiles after that. Like, even though I sold the crocodile, you still need crocodiles to keep refreshing the toy. So that one was just kind of, rough. Why not the stats, though? Did you miss the runs where we ran the stats and still lost? Let's go disgruntled housewives. But you almost won? How does that look on the in the win-loss column when you almost win? See, this is the kind of stuff that gets me branded as like a chat hater. People step to me with like bad faith questions, and then I respond with bad faith answers, and they're like, he hates his chat. You started the aggression. Don't be that guy who's I'm needling. Then when the streamer responds to you with a like tone, you say, I'm just a guy. I was just asking an honest question. I had an honest and genuine question. It wasn't designed to like make me greater than you or anything like that. I'm a curious fellow. Well, when you're right, but I think we mean it in 2 different ways. This could be interesting. I don't necessarily think good is the right word, but interesting. Get smoked. Then I will follow up on that by getting smoked myself. Yeah, here it comes. Isn't it messed up that the dude is the Penguin, but his name is Falcone? Sorry, it's been a while since I saw the movie. There might be 2 different dudes now that I think about it. So I think you're probably the best unit. This is important. That sell is probably coming, but it's got to be for the right cause. Here's an interesting play for you. Sell me. Gecko can kind of go crazy. We buy this for 1. We follow up with one of these to make sure we have a toy. I'll give you a tennis ball. Freeze a strawberry for 1. You're going to get sold, but not yet. And you're going to welcome to the squad. Can I have permission to write a fan fiction about you? Nope. You can do it. I can't stop you. But you do not have my blessing. I saw what you individuals did to Max Wenberg on the Seattle Kraken. You see that? Me trying to stay relevant, seeing the top post, sorry, Alex Wenberg, my mistake. Seeing that the top post on r/hockey is Alex Wenberg's wife calls out horny book talk for sexually harassing her husband. I said, what the hell is going on here? First off, I don't even know who Alex Wenberg is. No disrespect, I don't watch the Kraken. I don't even watch the Canucks, and they're my home team, okay? Then, what the hell is book talk? Apparently, book talk is a community on TikTok that is into reading romance novels and talking about it. That's fine. So how is this relevant? Okay, well, people were writing fan fiction, unsolicited fan fiction about Alex Wenberg, and then the Seattle Kraken were like, this is really funny, let's fly out these horn dogs to events and stuff like that. And then his wife, after 6 months, was like, what the fuck? Then I found out people on r/hockey were like, yeah, there's an underground community of unsolicited NHL fan fiction, sexual fan fiction. And then like they were talking about it as if like this is common knowledge. They were like, it's mostly enemies turned lovers sort of stuff. Like I read one where Patrick Kane and Artemi Panarin started out as rivals when he got signed by the New York Rangers, but then over time, you'll never guess what happened. I didn't know that any of this stuff existed, quite frankly. Yes, all I read is notes from underground and the continuing foibles of Gregor Samsa. Start a battle. Start a battle. You're going to go second, unfortunately. We will level you next time. I'm not worried about the effects of the tennis ball. We'll level you next time. This is fine. Give me tennis ball. I'm going to save the strawberry. That's a better food for next time. You're going to level. Fantastic. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. I got no problem with fan fiction. I mean, I don't even really have a problem if you write it about real people. Although I think that's definitely like a little weirder. But then you should definitely like not ever tell them or show them, in my opinion. I'm not really fully familiar with the fan fiction community to begin with, but hang on. We're gonna level up. Ooh, forget about you. You're secondhand news, brother. Garfield is back and in Pog form. We will go foam sword. We will level once more. The antelope's kind of okay this week, but let's run vulture. It could be fun. And then you know what? Why not why would I even give you a strawberry? I guess just to get it out of the shop finally would be nice. Well, didn't even get the effect, but so be it. I'm like a hybrid of Garfield and Alf because I hate Mondays and I want to eat that pussy. So true. Honestly, it's a pretty good joke. Can I tell you, I was at the library with my daughter on Saturday and she brought me a Garfield book and said, read this to me. As a kid, you just you have to go with what society tells you. You'd like assume that society has their head screwed on straight. So as a kid, you read Garfield, you watch Garfield on TV, you're like, some adults are laughing at this, it must be funny. As an adult myself with independent thoughts, there's not a single fucking joke in the entire... First off, it was called like, Garfield still hates Mondays, open parentheses, I promise. And then below that, it was bragging. It was like, Garfield's 71st anthology. So they've put out 71... like anthologies that represent 6 months of Garfield's sum total of comics in the funny section of the newspaper. There's no joke in any of the comics. Like every single one is just like Garfield's like sleeping, and then in the second panel, he like opens the blanket and looks out, and in the third panel, he covers his head again and has like a thought bubble that says like, yep, it's still Monday. And that's like the best of all the comics. Is every single one. I can't. I don't even think that's boomer humor. I think it's like the kind of humor that you like or you laugh at when you're like starting to experience. You know, like when you're about to die and your brain releases its natural reservoir of THC? Like, isn't it something like that? Sorry, DMT, not THC. I think it's like that, man. Oh. My brain has a THC reservoir? Yeah, it's probably why you don't dream anymore. Oh. We're washed on this one. The body produces natural cannabinoids too. Most normal weed smoker in chat. How about you give me an organic level up? Because this run is like it's a dead end right now. Niala can do some work, though. Listen, I'm just going to level with you. You haven't done anything for the squad. No disrespect. We tried something. It didn't work. Life goes on. We'll probably pill you to try to get a level 2 Niala, if I had to guess. But we're running out of time. You're not doing anything, obviously, but... The dreams you have when you stop smoking are insane. Brother, the dreams you have all the time are completely insane. Well, what a squad. Wait a minute. Did we beat you because you already summoned your dog? Order difference? We need you as well. And then you... It's like... You need to go at the back because you guys need to go off in this order. I don't really want you to level, but if you have... Oh! Ragdoll. Living in a movie. Foam sword. 6 damage to the weakest enemy. We don't want this. We want a pill for you, even if we only have 1 strawberry. Okay, they're running a trumpet build themselves. I'm something of a scientist myself, so I can relate to that, quite frankly. You shot me, and it didn't work. How does that make you feel? This is a draw waiting to happen. Oh, it's a win waiting to happen! You stink, and I don't like you. You still stink, and I don't like you. Garfield's 17th novel. You need to get pilled. Can I just get a Niala on reroll here? Similar. That's good enough. And then... I mean, to be honest, I think just maybe like long-term an octopus maybe could go crazy, but we got to find a way to scale it. But it's a little too late to start scaling it, but it's something. It's something. It's not a lot, but it's something. Holy cow. World's least strong lad? Wait a minute, we're gonna win this one. Got a long way to go, though. We don't need toys, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It would be modestly helpful, because we're presently straddling, like, 2 different archetypes that have no future. Oh, but that's... toy gives you 4 health. And whatever the effect of the toy is, which would be stinky socks. Nah, man. Nah. We want to get more trumpets. Forget about a fly. Level 2 octopus could go crazy. We don't need toys. Me before sex. So true. 27.5 minutes into sex. I think you're right. I think we need the toys. Sorry about that. Me, 27 seconds into... I know I said 27 minutes the first time. I decided to change the joke to make it more accurate. I'm going to go double of... Well, you should probably sell you, honest. In that case, we could try something like this. This is a bit out of left field, but... They got a toy build themselves. I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm completely fine, actually. Never mind. There was no problems there whatsoever. Nah. I'm like, nah. More trumpets? Not necessary right now. We're kind of trumpeted out. If we have to. I'll go some stinky socks on this one. I think it's making the best of the situation. What the hell? They stole my build. Me when I'm looking at somebody who's 5'10", 171 pounds. I just think it would be funnier to have a level 3 octopus, so I'm gonna take the chance. Oh! I still think like there's a really realistic chance we still lose, but level 3 octopus is a lot of fun with a level 2 tiger behind it. Come on, don't snipe me. Don't snipe me. We still did a lot of damage. I think we at least screwed up their order slightly. Nope, they screwed up my order. Are you actually 171 pounds?